Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. It is a beautiful Sunday here in Nova Scotia, and it's the last day, I believe, of September. I can't believe how quickly September has gone by, and it'll be October. I love Thanksgiving. I love food. I can't wait. My carb up meal will actually be probably on Thanksgiving with squash and such things. Sounds very good. Anyways, guys, so for my second YouTube video, before I just introduce myself, so like I said, I'm Gina, and today I want to tell you about my experience with losing weight, where I was at before I started losing weight, what I used, low carb and keto, and why it seemed to make a difference for me and why it seemed to work for my body. So I'm just going to tell you my story. I'll try not to make it like 30 minutes or anything like that, but I guess I'll start off from the beginning. So we're talking about like when I was 5, I remember looking at my class picture. So I went to kind of a smaller school and our classroom size was maybe 20 kids in it. And I'll never forget, and even when I look back now, I was always the biggest kid in my class. All the way through my grade school year, so up until about grade 7, I always got made fun of. And that's it sort of rolled off my back. I mean, it wasn't fun to deal with, but it did happen. And I was called everything from like Big G to Wall of China. Kids can be cruel, but everybody seemed to like me except for a couple bullies that were always bullying me for my weight. So all of my life I actually struggled with my weight. I would say that I became more obese. I was probably obese for my age when I was in grade school and that, but it's more when I got to about grade 11 and grade 12 that I remember within probably 1 year time, I put on probably close to 80 pounds. When I look at myself from 1 year to the next, or maybe even in 2 years, but I put on a lot of weight. And I topped the scales at my highest. Well, I think it was my highest. I'm not totally sure because I didn't always get on the scale. But right before I turned 30, when I wanted to make a lifestyle change for myself, I weighed in at about 305, 306. I bet I could have been higher than that at one point. Now, let me just tell you about my actual experience, though. I remember from the time I was probably in grade 3 on, I was trying to lose weight. This shouldn't be for kids, and I feel really bad that kids do go through this, but I was a very overweight child. Now, I didn't eat the best. That didn't help things. Genetically, my family has people that are larger in it, so it comes to me somewhat genetically too as well. My grandma was the one who always cooked for us. So my grandparents lived with us, and she always prepared like what you'd consider really healthy meals. So back in the day, you meat, potatoes, vegetable, and always had a dessert and everything, but I had a huge sweet tooth. Like, from the time I remember grade 3, grade 4 on, I used to actually steal chocolate bars from my mom's cupboard. Now, I know a lot of people wouldn't say that was stealing, but it was. And I actually did take stuff from mom. And then she'd be like, who took the chocolate? But she had things there set aside for certain occasions, and I would scarf down a Mars bar or something like that. But anyways, so I tried everything. I remember from grade 3 on, I tried Weight Watchers. I had tried Deal-A-Meal, if anybody remembers Richard Simmons. I remember trying, oh my land, guys, the things I tried, Slim Fast. Slim Fast, I think, has a very constipating type thing to it. What else did I try? I remember trying like these weird like round things that you just chewed up 3 for a meal. I don't even know what they were, but I tried those. I think my mom tried all these things with me too because my mom was overweight as well. So many things I tried. Anyways, and I think mentally I wanted to lose weight, but I literally had a food addiction. So it was really hard for me to control even good foods because I would eat too much of them. So fast forward to the time when I was 30, just before my 30th birthday, I decided that I wanted to make a lifestyle change for myself, lose weight, because a lot of people in my family had really bad arthritis. They couldn't go for a walk. They couldn't do stuff. And I said, man, I want to be able to be 65, 70 still hiking. That was my thing. So I started losing weight. A friend of mine, Mary Helen, actually suggested a low carb diet. And I was like, yeah, right. Like, I'm going to stick to this with no bread. This is ridiculous. Anyways, so I actually started doing it. So it was a very low carb. So it's a lot of greens and a lot of lean protein. So at this time I was not keto yet. So keto's high fat. I'll describe that more to you. So there wasn't really any fruit to start out with. I did gradually add in some, but yeah, so that's what I started with. It was kind of a take on the old South Beach diet. Not the one they have now, because the one they have now has lentils and everything in it, I think. But it was sort of a take on it. It wasn't exactly it. So yeah, anyways, I did that, and shockingly, within the first month, I lost 25 pounds, and I was quite impressed. I was like, well, this is really good, because, well, you know, I had never really had any success with this before. And so I kept on going, and I decided to add walking into the mix and going to the gym and doing the elliptical machine. I actually got very addicted to exercising. So I would literally go and spend like an hour and a half in the morning gym doing a whole lot of like cardio stuff. And then I would actually come home and I would go through my teaching day and all that kind of stuff. And I wound up within the first 3.5 to 4 months losing 50 pounds, which was incredible for me. So on this low carb type lifestyle, I started increasing my exercise. So not only was I low carb, but I was also, low carb, and I was exercising. I did gradually add in some like veggies like carrots and everything. I added in cheeses and everything. And within the first year, maybe year and like 3 months, I lost 100 pounds. And this really worked for me. Now, something that happened while I did this was actually, if we backtrack, when I turned 18, I started having a lot of hormonal issues and I didn't know what was going on. I started getting extra facial hair, extra body hair. My cycles totally stopped at age 16. And I was like, oh my land, what's going on? I thought I was like a little bit of a freak. And it wasn't until, well, I went to my doctor and he would give me stuff to have my cycle straighten out. So not an actual birth control pill, but just something every 3 months. And it wasn't until I was mid-20s that one of my friends said, Gina, you have symptoms like I do of PCOS. And I was diagnosed with PCOS. I wonder if you have it too. So I did get put to the specialist and I had PCOS, which that's good because we found out what it was. But I said, okay, what do I do about this? And I knew nothing about PCOS at the time. And all he could say is, we can put you on birth control to straighten out your cycles. That's about the limit that they knew about PCOS at the time. So that's okay. I just accepted what he did. I didn't even do any research on it. I was like, okay, that's cool. I might not be able to have kids, you know, all this kind of stuff, but whatever, we'll keep going. So I keep going. And when I started this low carb lifestyle, within that year, my cycle started back up again without help. And I was like, what's going on? I thought it's because I lost 100 pounds, but it turns out that actually the low carbohydrate and low sugar eating that I was doing actually took and helped me, because when you have PCOS, something I didn't know about, most people know. I really can't speak for every single person because I know people that have PCOS that don't have weight gain. They don't. And they do have like extra body hair. They might have hair thinning. There's so many things that go across. Some people have really bad acne. You name it. There's all sorts of things, right? So not every person's the same. Obviously, not everybody's body is the same. So, what happened is when you have PCOS, you're insulin resistant. That means your body cannot process sugars right. You wind up putting on weight and your insulin cannot be, regulated. Like, that's why things like just counting calories or eating a whole bunch of fruits and veggies just didn't work for my body, because the sugar intake through those fruits really, really did mess with my insulin, resistance. So here's my situation. I didn't know that, but now I know why this works for me. So fast forward about 8 years, and I actually took and started having, well, probably about 5 years ago now, I actually started having major back issues. I struggled with minor ones for a while after I lost weight and when I started running and everything, but it got to the point where I couldn't run anymore. I couldn't hike, couldn't go for a walk. Went to many, many, many people for diagnosis. Finally found someone really good a few years ago. But that's going to be another video sometime. But I actually did wind up stress eating a bit. So I kind of went off of what I normally did. And I did the same thing when I was in relationships as well. I would take and on the weekends eat a whole bunch of like really junk food. So we're talking a lot of fast food, entered a lot of those carbs into my diet. So I was literally running at that time to try to keep weight off. So it was just not healthy for me whatsoever. But yeah, with my back and that, I actually wasn't able to do much working out. I got to the point where I could swim, but for about a year and a half there, I stress ate, but what you'd consider normal eating. So lots of fruits, lots of high sugar items, even natural sugar. So for me, that was a bad thing. And I actually wound up putting on 20 pounds because my body can't handle that with PCOS. So then finally, about a year and a half ago, I just decided I needed something a little bit different. So I knew low carb worked for me, but I decided to go keto. So keto is high fat, moderate protein, and very low carbohydrate. And through the through the eating lifestyle of keto, I have been able to drop basically what I had put on and a little bit more. So basically I've lost 143 pounds so far. I'm at my happy place right now at 162 is my happy place. Not for everybody it would be, but for me and my hormones and everything, I seem to be at a good place. And this seems to be like stopping sometimes, so I don't know if it's going to screw with my video that I'm doing, but whatever. Anyways, so with keto, I was able to lose some more, which is great. Now, let me show you guys. Oh, and with keto too, obviously, because it's very low carb, my insulin level is regulated, right? Some people that have PCOS are put on metformin and stuff like that. It's great, but it doesn't actually heal the body. It can help to mask things, but healing your body through a keto or a low carb lifestyle, for me, I'm not saying it works for everybody, for me, it has been a life changer. Now, so for me, it really totally works, and I would love to describe a little bit more of how keto works and how much you eat and everything, and I'm going to do that in another thing. I just want to give you guys my background story right now, but I want to show you a picture because I don't have all the cool, I'm really quite frankly computer stupid, I'll be honest with you. So I'm just going to hold up this. This is not me at my biggest, but I'm with Mickey Mouse, so it's all good. Okay, so that was me, not at my biggest, so I would have been at about a 24 there, and I was probably about 280 pounds or 290 pounds. Look at Mickey Mouse. How cute is he? He's pretty cute, eh? Anyways, that was a great trip though, but that was not me at my biggest, okay? But this would be me at my biggest. I saved a pair of my, I think it's really important as you lose weight to save a pair of your older clothes, because if you can compare, if you have those moments where if you're feeling really, really down about yourself and that you're not making any progress, just pull them out, okay? So this is size 24, 26 pants from Additional. These were my dress pants back in the day. Okay, so you guys can see, well, it's kind of hard to exactly tell. I can't really get too much closer. But they're much bigger. If I put them on, I pull them all the way out. So, anyways, I would slip them on, but whatever, I'll do one of those. But as you can tell, though, they're much bigger, right, guys? This is how much weight I've lost, 143 pounds. This used to be me, and these just fit me just right at the time. So they weren't really loose or anything. They just fit me right. And I loved these pants. Actually, they're in great shape. I thought about actually taking and selling them to somebody who needed them, but I kept them. I kept them on my shirts. And I think it's very vital as you go along your weight loss progress to keep something like that, because I think it actually helps. So this is size 24, 26. Right now these are size 10, I believe. I am comfortable around a size 10, 11, could be a 9, just depends on where I actually shop and that kind of stuff, because women, you all know, every single place is different for different bodies, eh? Anyways, guys, that is the download of why keto worked for me. And why I didn't really know it did at first. I thought it just was like, okay, so I'm getting rid of breads. And just because you have PCOS doesn't mean you're going to have weight gain, but a lot of people do struggle with that. And I did put on a lot of weight when my hormones started going all haywire. So for me, keto and low carb works really well. And I do want to do an actual video next on exactly what keto and low carb is, because a lot of people get very, very confused with where sugars are hidden in that. But guys, I just wanted to give you my story of what me, and if you guys want to see more pictures for my befores and afters, you can go to my Instagram, follow me there. I'm at Keto Low Carb Gina, and you'll see some befores and afters. Same thing on Facebook, at Half the Person I Used to Be. I have some befores and afters. I also keep a meal log as well of what I eat on both of those pages. And please, by all means, subscribe to this channel and just keep listening. I plan to share more about PCOS, more about keto and exactly what it is and how it differs for each person, because the way I started keto a year and a half ago is not quite the way I do it now. You have to be willing to go and listen to your body and do what your body needs. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope this story inspired you a little bit to be able to say, hey, I can do this too. Anyways, I would have more props here to show you, but anyways, I hope you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll chat with you guys later. Have a good one.